Let's go to the phone. Calling from Britain, Nathan Ray. Welcome to the program, Nathan.
Oh, how are you doing, Sam?
I'm doing well.
I just thought I'd call in with a British perspective on something.
Please.
Because there's been lots of talk recently about obviously Brexit and the awful attacks in Manchester. Well, not physical attacks, but racist abuse and things been going on. But I think I'd just like to comment on the math debate. I think you're getting the wrong end of the stick here.
You're joking.
No, it's called maths. It has a plural. It has an S on the end. It's maths. I know you Americans say math, but I think you'll get a lot further with the debate if we all just agreed to call it maths with an S on the end. I think that's much better.
British people are so demented.
It's unbelievable. So wait a second. So tell us, honestly, you're not calling it about math.
Oh, no, I'm not calling it about that.
Good.
I just thought I'd just update you with that.
Oh, my God. I take a vacation. I just let people call in and host the show.
I tried to work out a John Miller gag, but I couldn't make it work, to be honest. I think that's been done to death as well. So,
yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, but give me your sense. I mean, right now it looks like, is it possible that this could just, I don't know, things die down, people just forget to initiate Article 50. Boris Johnson comes in and says, well, maybe we need another referendum.
Yeah. I think the problem is the same thing that happened after the Scottish referendum, almost 2 years ago. It was that nobody had worked out what to do if their side won, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Everybody was asking leading up to the Scottish debate, what happens if they vote yes? So, if yes, will it happen straight away? Will they keep the Queen, or will they have a different head of state? They're asking all these questions, but then nobody had talked to Cameron and said, right, this is what happens when no wins, and this is the next, this is the week after the no vote happens. This is what we do in that following week. And he messed it up because they were making all these promises to the Scottish people. Oh, we won't turn you back on you. We'll continue investment. All these different things. And then the first thing he did when he went back to Westminster was we need to sort out the West Lothian question, which is the fact that is where the Scottish MPs get to vote on English laws in the House of Commons. But English MPs don't get to vote on Scottish laws, which are being made, up in Hollywood, up in Edinburgh. So there is this perceived imbalance of power. So he said so it's like saying to Scotland, we're not going to let you down. We're going to, we're going to give you more autonomy if you vote no and stuff. And then he goes back and then basically tries to do a deal where he screws over the Scottish people again. And the Scottish people turned against the no campaigners and the parties which were campaigning for no, which was the Labour and definitely Conservative, and they just got wiped out at the next election.
Yeah.
And now there is it's all all the MPs from Scotland now are SNPs, and the SNP is the third largest party in Parliament. And
it's fascinating to me because I think Blythe yesterday on the program said that he really feels like the British politicians have become just empty shells of sort of just careerists, and to a certain extent, look. Maybe we're just more used to it in the United States. Also, maybe there's just not the same opportunity for bold promises in the United States, and there's a certain amount of cynicism. So, nobody really ultimately gets, the biggest issues for us are something like, the TPP or, net neutrality was one of those moments where, everybody was waiting. Will Obama step up? That type of thing. In this case, it would be, expansion of Social Security. But there's already an understanding but we know there's really not much, that's a sort of, it's not an empty promise, but it's one where the expectations are lower because of the paralysis in our government. And it just seems like there's too many opportunities right now in Great Britain for politicians to actually have to put up or shut up, and they just overpromise because they think they can get away with it, and then it turns out they can't. I mean, it's really it's stunning.
But I think I mention this, I think, almost every time I call in, is the fact that in this country we don't have a written constitution. So when big decisions come up, the politicians make up the rules to move forward in the way that's best for them. And with the Scottish referendum, the yes voters wanted as many young people to vote as possible. So they reduced the voting age in Scotland down to 16. Where in the rest of the country it's still 18.
Yeah.
And then in this one, they said, well, it's going to just be a 50-50, in or out choice. Where they could have said, oh, well, because this is such a big constitutional thing, we're going to have to say, right, it has to be 2/3 or 60 or whatever. Or if the voter turnout isn't high enough, we want to do this. But they literally, the Prime Minister literally threw this bone to the members of his party who were, which are anti-EU, Eurosceptics, they're called, and basically to say, oh, okay, well, let's do a referendum, but with no thought about, oh, how is this actually going to be implemented or not implemented,
or what
if
they win,
and then we. Oh, what if they win?
Yeah,
exactly.
it's unbelievable.
But he could have made it. He could have made it harder for them to win.
Yep.
He was making up it was the Conservatives who were bringing the legislation
cowardice
forward to be able to. Yeah, and like your guest yesterday, I've forgotten his name now. Was it Mark?
Blythe, yeah.
Yeah, yesterday said that has to go to the vote in the comments, and because we don't have a written constitution, and the only thing that everybody agrees on is all our laws have to go through the Commons. And he said that they can't call a no confidence vote in the Prime Minister. We have to have a higher percentage of MPs to be able to do that. But the law that is based on is not a constitutional law. We don't need a constitutional amendment if we want to reduce the level of no confidence. All we have to do is abolish the law. And to abolish the law, all you need is 51% of the MP, 50% plus one MPs. And obviously, it would then be kicked to the House of Lords, and then could be kicked back again. And it would be a longer process and things. But if enough MPs wanted to get together, across party lines and do it, it could probably be done. It probably won't be done. But but that's what in the country now is like, oh, what's next? And everybody's basically saying we don't know, because we don't know how long it'll take for the Conservatives to sort out who the next leader is, and therefore the next Prime Minister. Our opposition is crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if. I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if Nicola Sturgeon from Scotland, which is the SNP's a left-leaning bloc at the moment, if she could probably put together a left-leaning coalition with a few MPs from Northern Ireland, a chunk from Labour, the Green MP, and all this kind of stuff. So, and she could say, right, we're going to put forward some things to try and vote on, and it's just all over the place. But
Nathan,
but I would. Thank you very much for letting me call in.
Yeah,
I just want to say just one thing about this racism. Yeah, this racism thing that's cropping up. At the beginning, I was skeptical, like last week at the weekend, because I have black friends and Asian friends who have to deal with bits of racism. People saying things to them all the time. And to begin with, I just thought, oh, this is just confirmation bias. Just people are noticing the racism towards the Polish and the French and the the European people as well. But it isn't. Something is happening. And my Polish friend and one of my friend who's from Portugal, but also from India and things. People are noticing it more, and there's definitely a shift, which makes me really angry. It just makes me angry. Like
All right. Well, I got to jump, Nathan, but thank you. I appreciate it.
Yesterday. Yeah, sorry.
Right. That's okay. No, call back in. But...
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, bud. Hello, you. I'm Sam Seder. Looking for smart progressive talk that is occasionally amusing? Well, subscribe to our YouTube feed. Subscribe to our podcast. Like us on Facebook. And just generally enjoy us.